Pledge allegiance, please. I
pledge
pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Yes. President Dom.
Here.
Vice President Everard.
Here.
Treasurer Zimmerman.
Present.
Secretary Wazorek.
Here.
Trustee Leahy.
Yes.
Trustee Zurich.
Here.
And Trustee Zeller.
Here.
Okay. I'll have trustee Zeller to read goal number 6, please.
Conservation ethic. Goal number 6, to foster a conservation ethic among McHenry County citizens, helping all of us, regardless of the basis of our interest in nature, to develop a greater awareness of our role in and responsibility for the total community of life. A conservation ethic asks us to assume a moral duty to become educated about conservation issues and then act on that information. A conservation ethic is an attitude that recognizes the importance of preserving the natural heritage of the county's open space. Goal number 2, to acquire and maintain other wildlife or other wildland, scenic areas and open spaces for conservation purposes and for educational and recreational use.
Great, thank you. Bonnie, could you do number 5, reading of conservation stewardship pledge?
We pledge to make a difference by standing up for our water, wildlife, and way of life in McHenry County. Our quality of life in McHenry County depends on healthy and sustainable natural resources, thoughtfully developed cities and towns, a strong economy, and beautiful outdoor places to explore, discover, and recreate. Number 3, we will remain steadfast in our commitment to protect distinct natural areas.
Great, thank you. Mr. Zurich, would you like to read land acknowledgement statement, please?
Many indigenous groups and tribal nations, including the Ho-Chunk, Kickapoo, Lakota, Dakota, Muscooten, Miami, Peoria, Potawatomi, Sauk, and Meskwaki. McHenry County is part of their traditional homeland. We invite you to join us in offering respect to the indigenous peoples living here today and their ancestors' stewardship of their land. Together, we celebrate these special places, seek to learn and honor the history of those who came before us, and strive to forge meaningful relationships with indigenous communities to deepen our collective connection to the land.
Great, thank you. Quite a few Indian tribes are pronounced.
Right, nicely done.
Yes, I say.
Mike probably visited every reservation that he
Probably
probably
has.
has.
May I have a motion to adopt the agenda, please?
So move. Second.
Been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Trustee Leahy.
Yes.
Vice President Everard.
Yes.
Trustee Zurich.
Yes.
Treasurer Zimmerman.
Yes.
Trustee Zeller.
Yes.
Secretary Wazorek.
Yes.
President Dom.
Yes. Motion carries. Okay, we move into, 8.0, time to celebrate. Some old timer's gonna be leaving us, unfortunately. May I have a motion to adopt resolution number 2464, a resolution celebrating and recognizing the retirement of the Director of Land Preservation and Natural Resources, Ed Collins, for dedicated service and commitment to the residents of McHenry County Conservation District. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, who was the first? You were quiet.
Well, I guess I read it. so-
Okay, so you were, okay, I wanna make sure.
I want-
And there were several seconds.
Yes, choose one.
I did.
That's very controversial motion.
Yeah.
Secretary Wazorek.
Yes.
Treasurer Zimmerman.
Yes.
Trustee Zurich.
Yes.
Vice President Everard.
Yes, wholeheartedly.
Trustee Zeller.
Yes.
Trustee Leahy.
Yes.
And President Dom.
Absolutely. So now he's breaking the tradition of reading all the whereas and hereforths and stuff. I think we could just present this to Ed, but you want to say a few words?
I do, if you wouldn't mind.
Why don't you do that first? That'd be great.
Thanks.
There you go.
Kind of formal because it's the first time or last time I'm gonna be speaking to you, so. President Dom, members of the board, fellow staff members, colleagues, and friends. I realize that memorializing an individual's contribution to the district over the years through a formal resolution is part of how our agency says goodbye when someone retires. And I am appreciative of the gesture, and I am genuinely moved by the sentiment behind it. However, this evening, the last board meeting I will be attending after being present at over 800 such meetings, I have asked the board to simply allow that resolution to be placed in its written form into the minutes without a public reading. And I'm sure whoever had to read that is probably pretty grateful. Instead, I've requested that I be allowed a few minutes to summarize what the past 38 years have meant to me. And I'm very grateful to you for granting me the time. First and foremost, and she's online tonight, I am very grateful to my wife Denise for her patience, her kindness, her understanding, and on many occasions her wise counsel through the adventures that we have shared as members of the district family. We moved to McHenry County in 1982 to take a 3-month summer job as a gardener and a craft person at Pleasant Valley Outdoor Center, with our belongings in a borrowed car and our 18-month-old daughter in tow, to live in a ramshackle farmhouse that had seen far too many years. And somehow, through all the tumult of that first summer, we knew that we had come home, and that our lives and the landscape of McHenry County would be intertwined forever. Words cannot articulate how fortunate we feel to have raised our children in Glacial Park for 33 years. And part of us will always live in Glacial Park, complete with a sprawling backyard that covers thousands of acres. I have served with nearly 100 board members over the past 36 years, and I have never ceased to marvel at the willingness of each person who has filled your role to offer 1,825 days of their lives to the betterment of not only their fellow citizens, but also of the older brothers and sisters of every species with whom we share the journey through space and time on this fragile planet. I can only offer you 2 small pieces of insight based on those 3.5 decades to you who serve this cause, and I hope they may be of some value to you each time you must wrestle with a difficult decision. You are the heirs to a dream that began over a half a century ago, born of a wisdom from a generation who brought the district into existence. Never make decisions based on political expediency or the fear of angering one user group or another. While the district must always take the people we serve into consideration in decision-making, your first and your foremost responsibility is to the land that supports those people. You are the voice of the voiceless, of the cranes calling from the marsh and the silent wings of the owl, of orchids in bloom and the sound of rushing water over stones. Continue to make your decisions always for these things and not for the popularity among human beings. Those who clamor about too much land being preserved will share the same fate as those of us who have worked hard to save it. We will all in time pass from human remembering, but the land will not, for the land goes on forever. You must in all things stand for the land regardless of the cost. You must draw on your inner Theodore Roosevelt and your inner Rachel Carson when the issue demands it. Your second responsibility is to the men and women of the district who transformed the dreams of 50 years ago into reality each and every day. The ranger and the police officer, the naturalist and the ecologist, the voice on the phone that provides information on wildlife or registers a family for a campsite, the carpenter who cares for the district's buildings, and the administrator keeping the machinery of the district's day-to-day operations running like a fine timepiece. Without them, we are simply a logo, an entity with arms and legs but absent a heart. Treat that heart of the district as carefully as you would your own, in the decisions you make on how to allocate resources and funding. We have just short of 80 workers in our agency. And I say to you, as the longest serving employee of the district, that you could strain 800,000 and not find 80 better. To my fellow directors, I am humbled to have ever been considered worthy to serve in the same capacity as you. I am grateful to Elizabeth for believing that I had what it takes to serve in this role. I'm grateful to Andy for his wisdom and for his patience, teaching me all matters financial to the point where I can even balance my own checkbook. I'm grateful to John Kramer for welcoming me into the world of directorship and holding my hand for the first year as I learned what that means. I'm thankful to Wendy for her effervescent attitude and her easy smile, which has pulled me back from the brink of taking myself way too seriously time and time again. To the district staff across all divisions, I've been fortunate to know you these many years and to work closely with you in so many ways. Regardless of what department you call home, the words of George Washington describing the volunteers of the Colonial Army describe you best. You are the bravest, the most committed to the future, the most willing to sacrifice for a greater good. You are, in every measure of truth, brave and noble soldiers in the cause of the future. To the staff of the Land Preservation and Natural Resource Management Division, it is difficult for me to say what fills my heart so deeply this evening. I have been privileged, I have been honored, I have been singularly blessed to have been part of so many of your lives for so long. I have not only shared the most important work on the planet with you, but I have been allowed to be part of your world. I've watched you grow and mature. I have shared your marriages, your births, your tough spots, and your triumphs. I have mourned with you and I have laughed with you. I have argued and debated with you, but most of all, I have been allowed to stand in the presence of your commitment and your courage. I have worked with every member of this division since the first day it was formed, and you now number literally in the hundreds. I say to you with not only all the confidence and knowledge of who you are and what you have already accomplished, but what you are capable of doing in the future, that the best is yet to come. You will always be part of my life and of my fondest memories. To all of you assembled tonight in person or listening, sharing in my final board meeting, I say unequivocally and without reservation that it is I who should be thanking the district. It is I who should be expressing gratitude for the abundance that I have been given these many decades. Therefore, I present to the board the following resolution. And ask that it be entered without objection into the formal record of the district as part of this meeting tonight. Whereas the McHenry County Conservation District in 1986 determined that a young 28-year-old man without a completed college degree, with little formal experience in public service, but with a deep and abiding passion for the county and its natural heritage, was worth taking a gamble on. And whereas the district created a natural resource management department in 1987, allowing me the opportunity to move into the role of vegetation specialist within that new department. And whereas the district allowed myself and my family the honor to be resident guards at Glacial Park for 33 years and to serve as a public face to the visitors each day. And whereas the district believed in my skills, promoting me 4 times during my 38 years of service, the last being my current position. And whereas the district did not promote me to the executive director position I applied for in 1998, and which the passage of time and the accumulation of wisdom has made me eternally grateful for. And whereas the district supported my concept for creating the Trail of History and allowed me to serve as its bushway for many years. And whereas the district allowed me to transform my dream of dechannelizing Nipperson Creek to a free-flowing stream into reality over the period of time from 1991 to 2001. And whereas the district listened with an open mind to myself and others' requests to spare the Powers Walker House on the eve of its demolition and allowed a dedicated volunteer group to restore it to its original condition over the next decade. And whereas the district embraced the idea I brought forward to purchase the Tamarack Farms Lodge and then allowed me to be part of the team that helped convert it into the Lost Valley Visitor Center. And whereas the district allowed me to be part of the planning that resulted in the Lost Valley Marsh restoration, the School Springs Wetland and Stream Mitigation Bank, and numerous other wetland projects resulting in the recreation of thousands of acres of wetlands. And whereas the district embraced the idea of prairie restoration in 1986 and allowed me to be part of bringing back thousands of acres of grasslands, finally answering the famous Leopold question when he said, "What 1,000 acres of compass plants look like when it tickled the bellies of the buffalo will be a question never asked and perhaps never answered." And all we have to do is go to Pleasant Valley now to see that. Whereas the district supported the idea I brought forward for a conservation congress that produced 4 important conservation documents, now enshrined as cornerstones of our work. And whereas after conceiving the idea for the Habitat National Wildlife Refuge in 2004, the district allowed me to be involved in it and advocated for this concept and has continued that support to the present day. And whereas the district has allowed me to be part of the efforts that have restored otters and ospreys, wild turkeys, bald eagles, bison, and other species of extirpated fauna to McHenry County. And whereas the district has allowed me to play a role in preserving tens of thousands of acres of public lands for future generations, therefore, let it be resolved that I, Edward Collins, hereby express and convey my deepest and most sincere gratitude and heartfelt appreciation to the current and former staff, volunteers, officers, and Board of Trustees of the McHenry County Conservation District for allowing me to serve in several capacities over the past 38 years in support of the mission of the district. And I ask that this resolution be incorporated into the official records of the district. Thank you very, very much.
Well, we have to move in a second if the board.
I'll take that one.
I'll second it.
Second, it's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
We already did that.
Oh, we.
No, that was that resolution, not this
Yeah,
resolution.
Oh, this one, this is. You threw me off guard.
24/79.
I know it wasn't posted 24 hours in advance, I'm sorry.
Okay, so, who was first? Who's on second?
First,
Okay.
Laura seconded.
And Zeller, okay. Too easy. Secretary Wazorek,
Yes.
Treasurer Zimmerman,
Yes.
Trustee Zurich,
Yes.
Vice President Everard,
Yes.
Trustee Zeller,
Yes.
Trustee Leahy, I'm sorry,
Yes.
and President Dom.
Absolutely. So let it be resolved that the officers and Board of Trustees of the McHenry County Conservation District hereby express and convey their deep and sincere gratitude and heartfelt appreciation to Ed Collins for his continued dedication to the mission of the district, and that the resolution be incorporated into the official records of the district. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
Yeah. One, two, three, there we go.
All right. Thanks for everything. Yeah. Okay, motion to adjourn.
Well, and tomorrow we
Oh.
have Ed's party, celebrating Ed, so he's got a week of celebration. So
Yes.
I look forward to having everybody, the presentation will be at 4 o'clock tomorrow, but it goes from 2 to 5.
Yep. Great. Okay. Move on now, 8.2. Elizabeth, you wanna?
I sure do, yes. So again, very grateful to Ed and his service and leading on that and really exciting this evening to announce the promotion of two team members that are continuing on with the district and coming forward here. The first is Gabe Powers, our Director of Land Preservation and Natural Resources, who will take the reins on Sunday, and we're very proud of him.
excited for the vision that he is going to bring and to take the division forward. And then congratulations to Caitlin Martinez McWhorter, who has been promoted to Director of Marketing and Education. So again, she will also begin her tour of duty on Sunday. So really looking forward to having them join the executive leadership team with John, Andy, and I. And again, I just have the greatest confidence in their abilities and what they're going to bring forward to the district and take us to the new heights.
Excellent. Some big shoes to fill. On both parts, yeah. Very good. We'll move on to trustees report. Any meetings or gatherings or anything you want to talk about?
We drank this month and we were lucky enough to get on the agenda, and Elizabeth made a shortened but impactful presentation, and the support in the room was overwhelming. I mean, it was that was the right audience, but it went very well. So we're getting the word out, and we had a couple other presentations I'm sure Elizabeth will mention, but the ball is rolling.
So, good. Anybody else?
Oh,
Aye.
I believe there will be a video of the water forum, so for those who weren't able to attend, I think you'll be able to go
Good.
through all the
I heard it was a real
information.
good presentation.
It was excellent.
Good. Three excellent speakers. Good.
Yeah.
All right, John, you got anything to report?
I do not have anything to report.
All right.
Nothing as exciting as what we've talked about today.
I know, that's pretty hard to follow that. President's report, I don't really have anything to report either, except for Ed. Public comments, number 1, I guess it is. Anybody out there?
I do not see anybody with any hands raised.
Okay, so move on to the consent agenda. We have a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So
Reagan moved and second.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Well, we need to go
Yeah,
through
you
the
gotta
consent,
read-
we gotta
Oh.
read consent agenda, you item by item, sorry.
That's right.
So usually.
I thought you were going easy on
That's
me.
right.
Shit, you see, yeah, I sucked it in.
A little rusty here. Ron, you guys know why?
And
Ron-
we can read
Ron's
it
ready.
first.
All right, 13.0, board business consent agenda. 13.1, approval of minutes of previous meetings. 13.1A, July 18th, 2024, committee of the whole, executive session. 13.1B, August 13th, 2024, special call meeting, joint board meeting, strategic planning workshop. 13.1C, August 15th, 2024, committee of the whole. 13.1D, August 23rd, 2024, regular meeting. 13.2A, acceptance of treasurer's report for August 31st, 2024 as presented. 13.3, resolution number 24-65, accepting the comprehensive annual financial report is prepared by Skiddage LLP of Naperville, Illinois for fiscal year 2024, which began on April 1st, 2023 and ended March 31st. 13.4, resolution number 24-66, authorizing the acceptance, execution, and filing of related certificates of the public funds annual statement for fiscal year 2024. 13.5, resolution number 24-67, authorizing the ratification of the director's execution of change order number 2 in the amount of $2,816 from Bill Lato Roofing of Crest Hill, Illinois for the Region 1 re-roofing project. 13.6, resolution number 24-68, authorizing the ratification change order number 1 in the amount of $2,500 and change order number 2 in the amount of $3,500 with American Community Painters of Hampshire, Illinois for McConnell Farmstead and Power Walker House repainting project. Resolution number 24-69, authorizing travel expenditures for the 2025 Great Lakes Park Training Institute in Polk County, Indiana for Rangers. Ones, Dylan Ryman, Travis Sandos, and Iron McCartney is included within the fiscal year budget for a total cost not to exceed $2,750. Resolution 24-70, authorizing travel expenditures for the National Recreation and Park Association Park and Recreation Maintenance Management School of the Ogoon Bay National Training Center in Wheeling, West Virginia for Parks and Fleet Supervisor Ben O'D for year one is included within the fiscal year 2025 budget for a total cost not to exceed $2,552.95. Resolution 24-71, authorizing the executive director to submit fiscal year 2024 law enforcement camera grant to the Illinois Training and Standard Boards for reimbursement. 13.10, resolution 24-72, authorizing the renewal of a 3-year memorandum of understanding between the Conservation District and the McHenry County Conservation Foundation. 13.11, resolution number 2473, authorizing the executive director to execute a professional service agreement with Studio 222 Architects, LLC of Chicago, Illinois for architectural and engineering services for the Prairie View Education Center exterior stairs replacement project for a cost not to exceed $26,000. 13.12, resolution number 2474, awarding a contract to Copenhagen Construction of Gilbert, Illinois, the lowest responsible and responsive bidder for the access improvements of Lake Outwood in the Hollows Conservation Area, Cary, Illinois, for a total cost not to exceed the base bid plus alternate number one of $748,545. Resolution number 24-75, awarding a contract to Bellisteria Environmental and Development Incorporated of Elkhorn, Wisconsin, the lowest responsible and responsive bidder for the building demolition and restoration of the Hollows Conservation Area for a total cost not to exceed the base bid. 13.14, resolution 24-76, awarding a contract to Bellisteria Environmental Development Incorporated of Elkhorn, Wisconsin, the lowest responsible and responsive bidder for the abatement of the White Barn and Glacier Park for a total cost not to exceed the base bid of $24,283.06. 13.15, resolution number 24-77, awarding an energy bid to Constellation New Energy of Houston, Texas for electric service at 15 (15) district location for 1 year beginning November 1st, 2024 in a monthly index price of 0.5584 per kilowatt hour in authorizing
Executive director to execute the contract. It looks like the annotated got cut off.
executive director to execute the contract.
Yes. Okay, now we can have a motion. To
Give a discussion on any of the elements first.
Well, let's take a second. We should do a second first and then discussion.
yeah, second.
Okay.
So we got a motion and a second.
Who's second, John?
Yes.
Okay, now discussion.
Discussion,
Yeah, just a question on the 13.13, the cost for the construction of that. I know there's that house when you drive in the entrance. Is that what we're talking about? Just seems, what's the restoration? Because It seems like a lot for the demolition of the house.
Want to talk about the project?
That's
Amy, can you do that? Paolo's
There's
conservation.
14 structures that are being that
Oh,
are being
okay.
demolition.
This
I was
is,
thinking just that
So-
one building up front.
No, so it's the whole campus plus the utilities that are still there. There's still a couple of wells. It's all the hardscape. So it's actually a lower price than what we had anticipated.
I can say it's pretty competitive compared to what you thought, yeah.
And in addition, it's the abatement of it. So it's a great price, actually.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any other discussion? Then let's roll call, please.
Trustee Zeller,
Yes.
trustee Leahy,
Yes.
vice president Everard,
Yes.
trustee Zurich,
Yes.
treasurer Zimmerman,
Yes.
secretary Wazorek,
Yes.
president Dom.
Yes. Motion carries. Alrighty. Treasurer, would you like to do treasurer?
Yeah, 14.1A, Treasurer's Internal Audit. I did a judgmental selection on the bills payable for August and chose 3 items. Those should be in your board packet. Item number 1 was for Midwest Public Safety LLC. Invoice 152-631-696 for $19,277 for body cameras and accessories. I pulled this one just, because it's above purchasing authority, so I just wanted to make sure that, those were budgeted and, the purchases were approved, properly. So that was, number 2 is, for Copy Express invoice 76707, for $1,179.75 for 10,000 proposition info cards. I pulled that one, just because it is involved with, our proposition coming up, so I just wanted to make sure that the district obviously was following the rules and regulations for purchasing of, voter cards. So they talked with Elizabeth. Elizabeth, actually, I think it'd be good if you just kind of maybe told the board what you told me, just so it makes sense.
Sure. So this is educational information only that we are provided to present. And so we did budget funding to be able to do this, and we've done several things as part of the strategy. In addition, the McHenry County Conservation Foundation is our partner, pledged to reimburse the district up to $10,000 to assist with our educational information. And so we're doing very well with our amount of expenditures and what we're producing. So again, you'll see the cards, you'll see some signage in our entry areas, et cetera, and information for a direct mail and what you'll find in the regular landscape, which is not part of that. So.
Right, it is acceptable, reasonable purchase as long as it doesn't ask to.
Take a position on the question.
That's right, yeah. Okay. Item 3 was for some transactions for Menards. I pulled those because they were all on the same day. And the request was just to determine first was whether the purchases were separate or together, just trying to look at travel and employee costs for traveling to and from for projects. The last one that made note was invoice 26711 because the Menards rebates were used. I thought it was a good opportunity to ask Andy how those rebates are tracked, how they're used, just to make sure that, there's no kind of abuse or fraud going on with those. I'm a Menards user and I save my rebates in the bottom of my receipts too. And so just want to make sure that there's a good policy and program in place and that there's oversight on that type of program, just to make sure that the district is capturing those reward funds. So that's it. So.
And I believe Andy had shared, yes, in fact, we do have a whole process in place for
Right.
the rebates and how that's collected from the county.
Yep, so I'm gonna make a motion for 14.1B to approve the bills the payment of bills as indicated on submission of bills pending report for the month ending August 31st, 2024. Just need a second.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Roll call please.
Vice President Everard,
Yes.
trustee Zurich,
Yes.
secretary Wazorek,
Yes.
treasurer Zimmerman,
Yes.
trustee Zeller,
Yes.
trustee Layton,
Yes.
president Dom.
Yes. Motion carries.
Uh,
Okay,
I'll make a motion for 14, you wanna call it out?
well, it's the property tax extension truth and taxation ordinance. So yeah, if you wanna make that motion, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'll make a motion for 14.2. 2024 property tax extension and truth and taxation ordinance. Consideration of this motion to pass ordinance 24-1049, an ordinance establishing the levy and assessment of property taxes for the McHenry County Conservation District, McHenry County, Illinois, in the calendar year 2024 to be collected in the year 2025.
Okay, may I have a second, please?
Second.
Been moved and seconded.
Trustee Zurich,
Yes.
trustee Zeller,
Yes.
treasurer Zimmerman,
Yes.
vice president Everard,
Yes.
trustee Layton,
Yes.
secretary Wazorek,
Yes.
president Dom.
Yes, motion carries. Okay, we want to go through with the declaration of the intent to abate taxes for 24 and 25, pay the debt service on outstanding general obligation bonds.
Yes, I'll make a motion to adopt resolution 2478, a resolution declaring the intention of the Board of Trustees of the McHenry County Conservation District, McHenry County, Illinois, to abate taxes therefore levied for the years 2024 and 2025 to pay debt service on outstanding bonds of said conservation district.
Okay, second, yes. Moved and seconded.
Secretary Wazorek,
Yes.
treasurer Zimmerman,
Yes.
trustee Zeller,
Yes.
vice president Everard,
Yes.
trustee Zurich,
Yes.
trustee Layton,
Yes.
president Dom.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you. Next, we'll move on to, is a purchase contract, with Kennesaw County Surplus Property Auction, Hickory Nut Grove Conservation Area. Entertain a motion to pass the ordinance.
I'll make that motion to pass ordinance 24-1050, an ordinance authorizing the execution of the purchase contract, the McHenry County trustee parcel 2024 Hickory Nut Grove Lane in number 2005-251-002, and the acquisition of real property according to its terms.
Okay, moved, is there a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, we'll do roll call please.
Trustee Zeller,
Yes.
trustee Zurich,
Yes.
secretary Wazorek,
Yes.
treasurer Zimmerman,
Yes.
trustee Layton,
Yes.
vice president Everard,
Yes.
president Dom.
Yes, motion carries. Excellent, we'll go on to Elizabeth with the executive director's report.
Sure, thank you. I have a few items to report to you this evening. One, I'll be preparing a letter of support for restoration management of Tamarac's core area in our relationship with an MOU that we have with Open Lands. They are applying for a USDA landscape scale grant agreement. What the district is doing in that letter of support is providing in-kind match to them to leverage that for funding to help restore areas to the tune of about $63,000. And that's commonplace of us in that area of management of how we work collaboratively with our partners. I want to report on the Great Outdoor Beer Trail this past weekend. Phenomenal. Kudos to our education and marketing team that really pulled all together, but it was an event that crossed over through the entire district of departments, from operations even to administration and finance, and managing all the tickets and all the stuff that needed to go on there. Well attended, a lot of great opportunity, as well as our foundation, but a lot of opportunities to connect with everybody. It hits another demographic that we generally, target to. Their kids may participate in programs, but to get the adults actively, and they were very happy as the vendors were leaving, as I shared with the group today. Vendors were like, this is the best event. Again, the professionalism, the organization, how it's all structured. And again, we have many craft breweries here in McHenry County, so that played well as the visitors, just raved about there's other craft brewery festivals, but just the management of the site and how it just worked through was so positive. So again, a great job to all on that event. And it really allowed us, and we did talk to a lot of people about the proposition, on Saturday. The Weekend of Restoration is this weekend, so another great event that will be taking place. We did send out, and I will follow up tomorrow. Thank you for those that are volunteering for outreach. We are doing some tabling events, so appreciate you assisting, be present to share information. This upcoming weekend is the Cary Main Street, and then the foundation is handling the Johnny Appleseed. So we're kind of dividing and conquering, so looking for places, and then the following and go to October is the Algonquin Harvest Fest. The district also did, kudos to land administration and preservation. We have the newest addition on the Beck's Woods parcel. So that had closed, and information will send that out in the weekly update in Weekly Wow. And then a shout out to, the Friends of Hackmatack, last week while we were meeting, they actually went to Washington DC. Ed was here, did not go, but the group of the friends did go, as recognized as the top friends group in the country with the National Wildlife Refuge Association. So I just want to shout out to them for that recognition and their hard work and partnership with the district, and a well-deserved honor. And I think that's pretty much all that I have.
Okay, excellent, thank you. All right, public comments number 2. Anybody out there or anybody in the,
No one on Zoom that I can see.
maybe you got anything to say tonight?
That's fine.
All right, we'll move on. Entertain a motion for adjournment. Okay, it's been moved by Mike. Seconded. Sean?
Trustee Leahy,
Yes.
Yes.
Treasurer Zimmerman,
Yes.
Vice President Everard,
Yes.
Trustee Zeller,
Yes.
Secretary Wazorek,
Yes.
and President Dom.
Yes.
Does anyone ever say no?
Yeah, right. Adjournment?
I thought you were thinking about it. Second.